What is your longest walk of shame? Because I was almost in Benin when I was supposed to be in Lagos, and I was had to evacuate the aircraft. Shame, you want kill me, die. Hello, people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Margarita Etienne, aka Maggie, the Spice of Life. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. This is my first YouTube video. So who is Maggie? Do not forget, it's not Maggie, Maggie. Maggie is a lawyer by day, a serial entrepreneur, the life of the party at night, and an amateur advisor. Yes, I can advise for Africa. Ask me anything, I'm going to advise you. And I'm a good storyteller. I love to gist. I so enjoy talking. I love talking. I love talking. And I love talking. I hope you could understand the emphasis. But this talker has been embarrassed several times in her life, and I really want to share those moments with you. Shame, they really quick catch me, if I must confess. Any smoke, I'm already ashamed. But that doesn't mean I don't live my life to the fullest, even when I'm being embarrassed or ashamed of some stuff that would have happened to me. But let me just share with you a quick story as to the different times I've been embarrassed in life. First and foremost, I'm just one dozing just one student. I think it was my just one first term or so, maybe no, probably second term. And I was sleeping during mass. Oh, by the way, I went to Regina Patches Secondary School. Shout out to all the RP girls in the building. Woohoo! So I think it was my just one first term. I was just dozing. I think it's December 7th or 8th. I can't remember which of them is the Feast of Immaculate Conception. I was just dozing during morning mass because we had morning mass every day. Me that I used to sleep every time. So I just sleep in that morning mass and someone just taps me. Stand up, they say, whose name is Margarita? During mass. And I stood up. And then the father walks up to me and then he says, what is the meaning of Immaculata? And I just pause, look around, and I say, I'm so sorry, my name is not Immaculata. My name is Margarita. And everyone burst into laughter. Reason being, mass was going on. It was Feast of Immaculate Conception. Father had asked whose name was Immaculata. But because I was dozing and whoever was beside me thought, they said, who is Margarita? And she tapped me and I stood up. That had to be one of the most embarrassing days of my life in secondary school. But there are several other embarrassing moments that have happened to me. If you stick to the end of this video, you get to know how I almost got to Benin instead of Lagos. I know people will be laughing at me, but you can laugh at me all you want. I mean, I was just one student who could have really cared about what I felt or how I felt that moment. But this one happened to me as a full-grown adult just 3 years back. I just revived my going for evening mass. So after several years of not going to church, questioning things, not being a proper Catholic, not even praying at all, I wasn't even believing in God. Hey, God, I beg. But this story for another day. As I wasn't believing in God, I just said, okay, let me revive my going for mass. I started going for evening mass. I joined different societies in church to be able to keep my spirit alive and my walk in Christ stronger. That faithful evening mass, the catechist asked me to please lead evening hymns during mass. It's okay, small thing like elephants now. Didn't I go to RP? We're not singing songs every day. I know hymns now. I was like, it's okay. She's like, can you do it? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I can do it. I did not know. I was not well informed about evening prayers during mass. And it was time for one of the evening prayers in between mass. In my head, or what I thought was supposed to be the next thing to happen was for me to lead a hymn at that moment. So I just shouted out loud, Catholic hymn book, hymn, this. I started singing and everyone looked at me like, what's going on with this girl? Meanwhile, it was time for evening prayer. That was how I stopped and I looked around and then it just opened. Continuation of the evening prayer. My chest throughout. And funny enough, I still had to lead that hymn again when it was time for me to lead the hymn because I was the one that was going to lead him throughout mass that evening. I wanted the floor to open and let me enter. But there was no way the floor was going to open because I was in the house of my Lord and personal Savior Jesus and I was not going to hellfire. But I thank God I survived that day. I still went for evening mass the next day, and several weeks after that. I even have evening mass family members now. But thank God, everybody moved past that. But me, somewhere in my head, I know they lead him again. Oh, I know I've told you guys 2 embarrassing church stories, but I'll give you this last third one because I'm a very serious church girl. Baza Arabani da mai chetona. Nobody's going to separate me from my creator. So I will go to church and I will serve him. And I will serve him with my brothers and sisters. But let me just take with these last embarrassing church stories. There are more where this came from, but some of them I shall hold them till the day I die. I share with nobody, not even my husband, not even myself in my dream. So scenario number 3. I go for 8 a.m. mass one time and church was full. And when I went for 8 a.m. mass, I had to sit outside. While sitting outside, I watched this green, not army green, a lighter shade of green. Don't worry, I know I'm a woman, but I don't know all those different shades of cockroach brown, burial black, royalty purple. I'm not able to know which is which, but it was like army green or a lighter shade. And I wore these really lovely skirts with a nice top. And then this girl behind me just taps me. We stood up during one of the stand-up, sit-down moments in Catholic mass. And then this girl just taps me and says, "Oh, you're stained." With immediate effect, I sat down. I'm like, Jesus, I'm stained with this kind of light colored dress. So I sat down. I just turned the skirt to one side, not to bring it to my phone, but just to the side so I can catch it. But I realized if I turned to the side, there was a slit, the way the hem is. I was like, hey, I just turned it a bit and I was just holding it like that. Sat down throughout mass, had to sit down on one bum and everything. Mass was over. And I was among the last set of people to leave mass because I was like, hey, God, I'm stained. I didn't put on a scarf. I didn't have anything to help me with. But something in my head was telling me, you can't be stained. It's not that time of the month yet. But I'm like, as a woman, you can never trust your body. Maybe stress just popped it out. So I held my skirt and I went to the car. The first thing I did was to turn my skirt. And I realized there was no stain. Why did this girl make me stupid? With no reason. Because 10, 15 mass people were coming in. So even though I was among the last people to leave at 8 a.m. mass, I still had to see some people with an improper skirt. That was quite embarrassing because I was like, walking like this. But the most sensible thing to have done was for me to walk to the toilet because, mind you, the restroom was just close to where I had sat down. I should have gone to the toilet and checked if I was really stained. But I said to believe somebody who I wasn't even sure of her sanity. Because why would you tell me I'm stained when there wasn't even a single stain on my skirts? Not even a drop of water or anything whatsoever. So this story makes me feel embarrassed all over. But I also question her sanity because why? Why did you see a stain when there wasn't? And you're female, it's not like it was a guy. And I was like, maybe his eye was staining him or something. A young girl and her eye was seeing well. I'm so sure that she was seeing properly. But till today, it always makes me question that particular girl's sanity. I don't remember her face or anything, but I'm just like, maybe this girl wasn't in the right frame of mind that particular day. For her to do that to a sweet soul like me. If you watch these points, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I want to share with you guys how I became friends with someone from an embarrassing moment. Rewind back to 300 level University of Abuja, Gwags. I'm a Gwags babe. And then I'm reading one evening in class, not night, not CDB, just one evening after lecture. I just went back to class to read. And I'm about to leave class to just get a quick snack, a quick drink. And I see this guy beside me. They had other people from other levels in class at that moment. And I see this guy beside me. I'm like, oh, please, can you just help me look after my stuff? I just want to go out and get a drink. So I'm like, oh, please help me look after my stuff. And he's like, okay, no problem. I'm like, oh, do you even know me? And he said, yes, I know you. I know the girl that wears rumple shirts to lectures every day as a law student. Mind you, I do not like to iron. Back then when I was in secondary school, I'll wash for my friend and she would iron for us. I love washing. I love washing clothes. I enjoy washing clothes. Not plates, so I really do love washing clothes. I felt it in my spirit. I'm like, I had to ask him, how do you know that? He said, I see you every time. You always wear rumpled shirts for lecture. Somewhere in my head, I just thought, oh, when you wash your white shirt and you hang it on a hanger and spread it outside, the sun will help you press your clothes. You didn't need to do extra. And here I am, someone noticing me that they actually do wear rumpled shirts. As soon as I went back home that day, I asked my friends, I said, do I wear rumpled shirts? They said, yes, you wear. And I thought people don't like to iron. I said, why didn't people tell me? They're like, we just thought because you don't like to iron, so you just wear a rumpled shirt like that. I'm like, someone actually told me I wear rumpled shirts to lectures. That day, that day moving forward to this particular moment, I don't wear any clothing. I don't wear any piece of clothing without ironing. Thank you, Kissy, my good friend. You see all these embarrassing stories I've given you now. Now I will take you from Guagolada, where I attended university, to Angwarimi, Kaduna State, where I grew up. There was this fateful day. My sister and I, my immediate elder sister and I, had gone to buy this Babadudu sweet at the wrap that we used to buy at 1 naira or so, I'll be 50 kobo. I don't even remember how much it was then. And we stopped in the Malam shop directly opposite St. Paul's Catholic Church there in Angwarimi. That was our parish. Then there's this popular mentally unstable lady that was around that axis. I don't know, some kids must have thrown stone at her or something. My son and I were paying no attention to her. And the next thing, we just received a slap on our back. The two of us like, boom! We turned and it was this lady. Apparently what had happened was some kids had thrown stones at her. She thought we were the ones and she came to slap us, smack us at our backs. The way we screamed and were so scared. All the kids around there were laughing. For like a week after that, a whole week, every time we came out in that whole environment to play or something, the kids would always just laugh at us. Because, oh, you people that the mad lady smacked. It was so terrifying and very embarrassing. Hey, God, that moment, I don't even like to relive it. But since that time till now, even mechanic that is not properly dressed, I'll just think you're mentally unstable and I run away from it till today. This one is not even as embarrassing as what I'm about to tell you. This is embarrassing scenario number 5. After living my entire life in northern Nigeria, I decided to go to Lagos Law School. Ozumba Badwi. Biko Lagos people, how do you people survive in that city? Ewelewe. I beg, I couldn't even stay back in Lagos, but that's a story for another day. While I was in Lagos Law School, I needed to fly back to Abuja to do something. Then Arik Air was still giving 15k for student or something. You just need to show your ID card or something, and then they'll give you a 15,000 naira flight. It was affordable just flying up and down. And I had come to Abuja to do some stuff and do some documentation for a particular stuff. And I needed to fly back to Lagos. That fateful day, you know how these flights announcers, airport announcers, or whatever they are called, will put the microphone in their mouth. I fell a victim. They had announced my boarding, or so I thought. And I walked, give them my ID card, give them my boarding pass, they tore it and they returned back the pass they're supposed to give to me. I'd entered the aircraft. Someone was on my seat. I even went to sit on someone's seat safe. On the seat that was assigned to me, I sat down. And then someone comes like, oh, you're on my seat. I'm like, no, look at my ticket. This is my seat now. We're having some few banter here and there. Nothing serious. So we're just talking, oh, it's my seat. No, it's not my seat. So the person, we just agreed that, Nigerian Airlines, they must have overbooked that particular aircraft. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I sat where I was. The person sat somewhere else. Lo and behold, I just heard, please, who is Mrs. Margarita Essien? And I'm like, did this person just go to report me for this small issue? It wasn't even an issue. It was just like, you're my seat, you're not my seat. It's my seat, it's not my seat. I stood up, I'm like, oh, I'm the one. And then they say you're on the wrong aircraft. Gang. After they just told me I was on the wrong aircraft. Mind you, I was on the last row on the aircraft. I had to do the whole walk of shame from that last row to... So I had to walk from the last row to the first row and come and talk to the flight attendant. And then they go, oh, you're on the wrong aircraft. In my mind, I said, why did you need to announce it when I was still behind? You would have waited for me to come to you. You tell me I'm on the wrong aircraft. And then I walked down quietly. But this flight attendant decided to announce it right from the beginning. As soon as I stood up, where you're on the wrong aircraft. See, that day, my legs were shaking. But I thank God though, what I thank God for was that I did not end up in Benin. The flight attendant just announcing, this aircraft is going to Benin. This aircraft is going to Benin and you're supposed to be going to Abuja. You're on the wrong aircraft. I said, why? I tell them to return back the other part of my boarding pass. And they tell me, oh, that's your aircraft over there. Well, it was really not my fault. It was the fault of those announcers that led me astray. Because why? I normally hear word. Why did they make it look like I don't see hear word on a normal day? So the next 1 year, every single time I flew anywhere, anybody that sat beside me heard this my story. I told it over and over again till now that I'm telling you guys again. And I'll keep talking about it. Even when I'm going to board the next flight I'm going to be on, I'm still going to tell my seatmates this particular story because my name is Cho Cho Cho. There are more stories where this came from. If you want to hear more of my police encounter, how the mechanic cracked my windscreen, my childhood memories, words of advice, amateur advice. Don't forget that I give candid amateur advice. If you want to hear more, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, this is my first YouTube video. Welcome to the Spicy family. Mark E, the spice of life. Love you all and see you next week. Mwah.